Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all. Dear authors and invited guests, welcome to the technical session 4B. I am Anisha Mishra, the moderator of this session on behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation. It is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the 6th World Conference on Smart Trends in Systems, Security, and Sustainability through Zoom. I hope you will enjoy the interactive and knowledgeable sessions through the day. There is a special note for all the presenters. You will be given 12 minutes for your presentation and 3 minutes for question and answers. And on 10 minutes, I'll raise a gentle reminder. There is another request to all the participants that you please stay connected with us till the closing of the session. If you have any update or query, you can write it to me in the chat box. Just before we get started, I would like to introduce you all to the chair of the session, Professor Sanjay Gaul. Dr. Sanjay Gaul is currently working as professor and head of Department of Computer Science and Engineering of Jaipur Engineering College and Research Center, Jaipur. He has published more than 95 research papers with Scopus indexed and UGC recognized journals. Also, published 8 books on computer science and information management, including Industry 4.0 AI and Data Science published by Taylor and Francis Publications. He is a lifetime member of Computer Society of India and the Institute of Engineers. Welcome to the session, sir.
Thank you, Anisha. And thank you for nice introduction. You can proceed now.
Yes, sir. Okay. So now we'll start with the papers. And I would like to invite our first presenter, John Helen C. Ortega. And the paper title is Roadcast, a Vehicle Incident Management System and Forecasting Implementing Moving Average. Dear presenter, you may please start your presentation.
Thank you so much, Miss Anisha. Let me just share my screen. Hi everyone, for today's video, I'll be presenting our research entitled Roadcast, a Vehicle Incident Management System and Forecasting Implementing Moving Average. I am John Helen Jasper Ortega from the extremely culture-rich Philippines, together with my co-researchers Albuan, Lavilla Napigkit Soliano, Dr. Fernando, and Dr. Legman, who came about this overly serviceable topic. To start off, vehicle incidents are widely acknowledged as increasing menace to society, as they have the potential to affect several lives when fatalities occur. Accidents can happen for a variety of causes, but the outcomes are usually the same, ranging from vehicle and property damage to major injuries. It not only creates collateral damage, but it also has the ability to partially or completely harm people in some instances, which we don't want to happen. According to the Philippine Statistics Authority, the death rate from road traffic injuries spiked up to 11.8% in 2018. The World Health Organization states that there are 1.35 million lives lost due to road accidents in 2018 alone, and 12,000 Filipinos die every year due to vehicular road accidents. In Metro Manila, which is the capital region of the Philippines, the number of accidents doubled from 63,000 to 116,000 from 2007 to 2018. Pasig City in the Philippines, as you can see here on the right side of my slide, has been considered the country's most congested city with the worst road conditions, which frequently results in traffic congested intersections, which is why we have chosen them to be the recipient of our research. For the old process, as you can see here, the old process is when somebody report the accident. So the authorities will receive calls or reports from people, and then after it, a crime investigator will be deployed to the scene, and a written blotter will be produced Thereafter, a soft copy of the report will be provided, and lastly, it will be encoded to a system wherein the police or the officer in charge will type it in the system. According to Miguel Paala, existing data on vehicle events is underreported since the authorities that handle them do not provide uh, thorough records and analysis. Moreover, most Philippine National Police data visualization are not shared with the general public and are often presented to police personnel only, which leads the general public to lack of information. Thus, establishing a vehicle incident management system will aid the decision-making of the police or the government officials in such precautionary measures. Prioritization of road surveillance and workforce can be options to prevent vehicular incidents depending on which roads in the area are most likely to have a higher volume of incidents from time to time. Also, the general public is aware of the hotspots and potentially hazardous roads which may take preventive steps. The general objective, again, of the study was to develop roadcast, which is the vehicle incident speed forecasting using moving average. Researchers were able to accomplish the following specific objectives. We created an incident vehicular management system that will let the general public to report vehicular incidents. Second, we created a monitoring module that will provide information on the incidents reported. Third, created a web platform for crime registrars that will input vehicular incident reports using web forms or by importing CSV files to the system so that the system can easily process a load of data. Then fourth, we integrated Google Maps in determining hotspots in terms of vehicular incidents for us to easily determine which area is the most incident-prone area. For the fifth one, we provided a comprehensive dashboard. Six, integrated forecasting techniques into the incident management system. And seventh, we provided also a comprehensive report generation in tabular format. And it's sorted by different categories. For the eighth one, we integrated priority and category lists for unsolved cases. And lastly, we evaluated the system in terms of FERPS model. Now, if you may ask, what is the significance of our research? So the project was able to contribute to the public safety rather of one of the biggest cities in the capital region of the Philippines. It is undeniably beneficial to the Philippine National Police to monitor, facilitate, and respond immediately to the area of the incident. Besides, drivers or the general public are more aware of the incident-prone areas and will be more cautious in deciding which road to take. The Eastern Police District adopted the system and even the Western Police District also adopted the proposed system. Local government unit of Pasig City can make actions from the data they could gather from the system. Now, moving forward to the methodology, the developed application can forecast traffic incidents using the moving average. It is a web application written using Python. Through the use of Django, a web framework for Python, broadcast can be accessed on the internet. MySQL database service is the database that is used for the operations of the web application, such as storing and retrieving of data. For the next pages, I'll be showing a series of snapshots of what the system can possibly do. On the dashboard, you will be able to see the number of road incident cases that can be filtered by week and day. A map is also displayed for the user to check in which area have had incidents throughout the year. Different graphs can also be seen for better visualizations and interpretation of data. On this page, incident records are listed according to incident type, place, date and time, and even the status of the case if it has been already resolved or not yet. Moving forward, users can also submit a report here like so by filling out the forms and inputting correct details on each field. A series of interviews and online surveys were conducted to test the acceptability and the developed web application. A project demonstration was conducted online using Zoom before evaluating the web application. The demonstration comprises of walkthrough of the web application pages, a demonstration of how the website operates, and an overview of the functions available to each user. The respondents are currently being displayed on screen, and the survey questionnaires were distributed to 60 respondents to gather feedback about the system. FERPs are among the categories covered in the online survey. To make the results calculable, every question in the survey utilizes a Likert scale. The weighted mean will be used by the researchers to evaluate the survey questionnaires data. Now moving forward, the results and discussion. The table of summary of technical evaluation shows the weighted mean of the FERPS model in technical evaluation. Each of the components of FERPS model and its interpretation fall on the strongly agree interpretation. Now, moving on to the non-technical evaluation, also here, each of the components of the FERPS model and its interpretation fall on the strongly agree interpretation. The Roadcast Vehicle Incident Management System had an overall rating of 4.73675 with a descriptive rating of strongly agree. Thus, Roadcast features strong functionality, usability, reliability, performance, and security as per the survey respondents. After the evaluation, using the quality factor FERPS model, the researchers identified the certainty of our claim based on the respondents' answers that tested and saw the demonstration of the web application. Based on these results, Roadcast had a more positive impact on the investigators, general public, crime encoders, and the substation representative satisfaction, which strongly agrees that Roadcast passed the evaluation using the said model. And here are the valuable references which helped the researchers develop this study. That's been it. Again, I'm John Helen Jasper Ortega from the Philippines. Thank you for listening. And I'm now open for questions.
Mr. John.
Yes, sir. Good day.
Can you explain FURPS test?
FURPS is an ISO model which is being used to test the software quality of an application. F stands for functionality of the system, U stands for the usability, R stands for the reliability, P stands for performance, and stands for the security or sustainability.
It is already built software, you utilize it?
Yes, definitely, sir.
So tell me, what is your contribution in this work?
For the contribution, we believe, or the researchers together with my fellow co-authors believe that this is very influential and have a great impact to the society, especially this is in regards with the safety. And of course, as we know, we need
Mr.
to...
John, what I just want to know what is your technical, tell me your technical word, because as I seen that you just used the already built software and collected the mean values, weighted average values, mean values. So this is just very simple study, only taking average of the data, and nothing is technical and nothing is, I think, that not methodological kind of things there.
I do understand, sir. So with the application, we applied a moving average method, which represents taking an average of a set of numbers in a given range, while the moving average...
Have you designed any algorithm for the same?
We integrated this method in order for us to forecast correctly the results of the prediction.
Are you designing any algorithm?
For the application, we just use an existing method and we applied it in the application. we created or we developed.
Lot of fruitful research. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for your great presentation. Now, I would like to invite our next presenter,
Thank you so much.
J.R.P. Lalata, and the paper title is Development of Hybrid Personalized E-commerce Using Collaborative Filtering and Content-Based Filtering for South Cartel Clothing Company. Dear presenter, you may please start your presentation.
Okay, so good afternoon and good evening to everyone. So I'm glad that I'm here in this WS4 conference, and I'll be presenting to you the development of an e-commerce site with a weighted hybrid recommender system and sales forecasting for South Cartel Clothing Company. So I'm the presenter, Mr. J.R.P. Lalata from the FEU Institute of Technology, Manila, Philippines. So this will serve as the outline of my discussion. So first we'll have the introduction, and then will be followed by the background of the study, then methodology, the system interface, results, and discussion, to be followed by the conclusion and recommendation. Now, e-commerce is becoming more and more relevant in our daily lives. It is revolutionizing the way people do business around the world. So the internet allows people to buy and sell almost everything, including books, electronics, apps, clothes, furniture, and people can purchase or sell whatever they want, anytime they want, with the help of e-commerce. Now, according to the study of Ordendorff about developments of e-commerce from 2014 to 2023 and projections for the future of the industry, global e-commerce revenues are expected to grow by 276.9%. That's over the most recent monitored time frame, and Asia-Pacific region accounts for more than 70% of all global e-commerce activity. Now, e-commerce in the Philippines will reach about $12 billion by 2025. And after generating $3 billion in 2019, and during the first 6 months of 2020, the number of consumers and pesos sold has more than doubled. Now, in the Philippines, there are so many brick and mortar stores. When we say brick and mortar, it is any physical storefront that sells goods and services directly to the customers. Now, South Cartel 55 is one of those brick and mortar store that sells different apparels or local clothing brands in its store located at Calamba, Laguna, Philippines, which was established last June 2020. Now, South Cartel's products are streetwear clothing, which is common among numerous urban youth subcultures, but are not limited to shirts, shorts, or hoodies, and many others. Now, the product of the process of the brick and mortar stores transactions traditionally displays the products in a categorized manner and waits for customer to feel free to come in and check out their product. Now, once the customer finds the product that satisfies them, the purchase transaction is done over the counter where the customer pay for the product via cash or credit card. So this transaction is then recorded using a logbook and to keep track of the product, the sales, the orders, and the stocks. And manual product suggestions to customers are also initiated when customers are curious in finding out more product designs and variations. Now, these processes may actually lead to various problems, which will make the customer data be managed inefficiently which disrupts the business data organization and poor customer relationship management. So one is the management inventory, in which the business encounters inaccurate inventory count of items due to the use of paper method in listing orders and sales. The next one is the social media advertisement, in which there's a limited access to customer, since most transactions happen only in a brick and mortar store. They have this Facebook platform, but not all items are adequately displayed, since Facebook is a single column scroll type of app wherein it is not easy for the customer to browse other items that they offer. Now, the next one is limited access to the customers. So definitely, we don't have the online system, so where local customers can actually buy their products. So therefore, the business relies mostly on the walk-in sales and promoting the products using the social media apps, where there are many actually competitors in the market. And the last one is there's no personalization. So manual assistance to customers is also a hassle, since the staff cannot accommodate customers simultaneously, leading to the business manually recommending products to only some customers, which contribute to the limited access to the products suggested and access to the customers. So with that one, since the company needs to acquire more customers and showcase products to the audience or to the customers for them to be discovered and handled properly the customer data, so this is where e-commerce comes in. So e-commerce is emerging and becoming more relevant to companies as technology advances, and something that should be taken of advantage, okay, and be incorporated in any business. So we want to address the problem stated a while ago. So that's why we develop an e-commerce website with a weighted hybrid recommender system and sales forecasting for South Cartel clothing company. So the project with the utilization of the hybrid recommender system aims to increase the performance and refine the recommendations of the items to the customers. So the idea of having the hybrid recommender system enables to issue more accurate suggestions by analyzing the aggregate data on the user and the item, thus leveraging the power of multiple data sources and improving the performance of the existing recommender systems. So the following are actually the modules that comprise the system. Okay, so this serves also as our objective in order to develop the recommender system. So the first one is we develop an account module that is capable of registering multiple types of users. So we have an admin, a staff, partners, users of the system, in which each of those have their own user level constraints and signing in using their profiles. Okay. The next one is inventory module. So for the inventory module, this will handle the critical inventory status and the update of the status of supplies for each product. And by the way, I forgot the products module. For the products module, the business can add actually products and their details, such as categories, you have the images, the variations, and any details about the product. Now, the next one is the ordering module. So this processes the products from add to cart of the item up to the tracking and the delivery of the order. Now, for the delivery module, so this will handle the tracking of the order, and it will handle also the process of the cancellation and the return of the order. Now, we have this recommender system module that collects explicit and implicit data to accurately suggest products within the user's preference, even without the user registering to the system. So,
sorry for the interruption, but you have only 1 minute left.
Okay, so these are the different modules, okay, that comprises a system. We have the payment module and the search forecasting module. Now, for the methodology, so we have the Scrum methodology or the Agile that was used in order for the system to be developed. And then we it underwent various testing, and the ISO 9126 as the software quality model was used in order to evaluate the system. Now, survey questionnaire were given to 59 respondents, okay, to evaluate what are the things that can be improved for the with the system. So this one is the interface. So we have the homepage here. So we have the product detail page. We have the cart page to shipping. You have the user level dashboard page, the sales forecasting page. And what is unique about the system is the presence of this recommender system algorithm. So if we're going to observe, we have the illustration here of the hybrid recommender system in which collaborative filtering and content-based filtering are being applied. So explicit and implicit data are being gathered and being for the collaborative filtering. So a process of transforming the data is being done, and then the k-nearest neighbor is being applied to the algorithm in order to have the top K recommended products. Now, for the content-based filtering, it tries to compute for the cost and similarity between all the products in order to come up with the top N recommended products. Now, trying to combine the two strategies of filtering, we have this combined top N and K recommended products, which will be now be seen or be implemented in the system, which will be experienced now by the customers while browsing the website. So it's more personalized. Now, for the sales forecasting, we try to use a sales forecasting technique, which is the ARIMA model. So given the time series sales data, so it follows that we need to clean and transform the data, and then we have this ARIMA model, and later on we'll have the forecasted sales of data. Now, for the results and discussion, if you're going to observe, we have used the 4 criteria of the ISO 9126. We have the functionality, usability, maintainability. And if you're going to observe, okay, we have this excellent rating for all the criteria: functionality, usability, and efficiency, because the system is functioning well and can perform, okay, its functionalities such as add products, modify carts, track order, recommend products, and predict future sales and generate reports. Now, most likely the maintainability, it has a good interpretation because it can only run smoothly, handle loads of orders, has good error handling as a case. Okay. Now, for the conclusion, so the researchers developed an e-commerce website where customers can easily browse and buy products online with the addition of the hybrid personalized recommender system to improve user experience, deliver relevant content based on users' preference, organize the data such as inventory and sales, and drive traffic on the website that will increase the profit of the business. Now, for the recommendation, we have the following. We may integrate other algorithms in order to improve the recommender system. We have also other features of the system, such as adding promo module. We can also improve the user interface, add more filters to products, and also we can have the online customer support. And with that, okay, these are the following references that we have gathered and we have used in order to come up with this research paper. So thank you very much for listening.
Mr. Jay, this is a good presentation, but I didn't find anything that what is your contribution in this study?
The major contribution is the idea of having this hybrid recommender system. So usually when we try to select items, it is not personalized. So just like the other,
I need to say, listen my question. What is your contribution? Because ARIMA model and the other models which you mentioned in the study, study, it is already available, right? So you are utilizing the tool and designing any system, it is already available in the websites. So
What is
I don't think there is no new concept, no new idea. These are already running and available with lot of sites. Okay. So what is new? I didn't find anything new in this paper. These
the
things are already running.
the idea of incorporating or merging or having a hybrid recommender system, having collaborative
If
and
you are merging
content-based
two or
learning?
three, if you are merging two or three technology, that is, it is automatically hybrid kind of technology. So hybrid keyword is not a, matlab, I think it is not a fashion to incorporate with title of any research. I just want to know new. I didn't find anything new. You just only use ARIMA model, moving similarly last paper, moving average, moving average. These are already available. Whatever. Try to utilize some develop your own algorithm. You are not utilizing any your own algorithm. You're just utilizing algorithms and tools already available with the software packages, tool technique, programming languages. Right? Try to understand. And
Yes, so these are available algorithms, but in
yes.
our case, some websites are not applying some of the filterings, okay? But in our case, we try to merge or perform or create a hybrid one that incorporates these two types of filtering approach in order for us to have personalized recommendation, which will improve the user experience of the customers of the website.
It's all are happening and already implemented with the artificial intelligence and other similar kind of tools, right? Tell me one thing, you just mentioned in first slide that there is a 276.90% growth of global economy of e-commerce, right?
Yes.
Uh, Give me the reference of this data. Is data is correct?
Yes, I have that one in the reference.
Yes, give me the reference of that data.
So that one is coming um, from the study of Adornoff,
Hmm.
Orendorff rather, Orendorff. So
Don't you think this data is too much high?
too much high.
Yeah, as per percent, 276.90% growth rate of e-commerce.
I think there's a boom in the use of the e-commerce because especially during the pandemic. So we have observed that most of the um, people are actually relying onto the use of the online or internet. So that makes that one, I think it tries to increase now the possibility of having more and more presence of the e-commerce, especially on the area of the Asia Pacific.
So if you are projecting such kind of data, there we need some supposition and extra remark. Kindly mention the extra remark that it is during the pandemic situation or for last 2 years or particular domain of time, right? It is, I think, Don, it is not for a common, this data will be not common for all the oral development of the e-commerce.
This is well
Maybe
noted.
only for pandemic situation, right?
Okay, this
So
is
it
well
is,
noted, sir.
yeah, it is too high. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
thank
Anyway,
you.
thank you. Good. Next, please. Anisha, madam, please.
Yes, sir.
Next. Yeah.
Thank you for your great presentation. Now we'll move on to our next presenter, Hyunji and Vicente, to present his paper on Big Abu, an augmented reality mobile application about endangered bird species in the Philippines. Dear presenter, you may please start your presentation.
Okay, good day to all. So I'm here to present our research presentation titled Book Abu, an augmented reality mobile application about the endangered bird species here in the Philippines. Together with my co-authors, Ms. Mina, Mr. Antonio, Mr. Clemente, Mr. Yap, Dr. Raguro, Dr. Lagman, and me, myself, Mr. Vicente. Again, I'm Henji and Vicente from AFEU Institute of Technology, Manila, Philippines. I will be presenting our research title. For the outline of my presentation, so I'm going to discuss first about the introduction, then next with the problems, and then the solutions, the methodology, the project design, results and discussion, conclusions, and lastly, the recommendations. So for the introduction, so birds, much like other animals, serves a big contribution in the conservation of our biodiversity. There are different ecosystem services that are provided by birds. These services include pest controls, pollinations, and seed dispersal, and many other services that may fall under the religion, arts, or even culture. And moreover, BirdsLife International also added that birds also help in landscape transformation, conservation of the rock, coral reefs, and of course, an inspiration to the science and technology. Our team collaborated with the Birds in Focus, which actually provides a venue of inspiration and education about the Philippine biodiversity, particularly the majestic Philippine birds. Haring Ibon also is a brand under the Bird in Focus that actually offers a variety of premium items or products featuring various Philippine birds. As part of their advocacy and social responsibility as a company, they actually committed to supporting environmental and conservation of Philippine natural resources. Endangered species are rampant nowadays as lots of environmental problems take place in our ecosystem. The main cause of these problems is actually us, human. Are we ready to take on a world where species are being less diverse? Leading us to the question, can you imagine a world where you cannot see birds flying in the blue sky? Birds are born with wings. Why are they crawling through life? There are several classifications of endangerment, and lots of bird species in the Philippines fall under this classification. To be more specific, this study dives on the 30 various bird species to which people are unaware of being vulnerable to endangerment. More to this, people, aside from being unaware, oftentimes is not knowledgeable or does not want to associate themselves with this kind of problems. Regardless of the benefits we get from what birds to do to our ecosystem, most of the species are being threatened due to human reason, as I mentioned a while ago. In fact, the Philippines is also facing a major challenge in the conservation of avian life due to illegal poaching and illegal wildlife trade. Moreover, according to Pasqua, which stated that the Philippines is ranked ninth or number 9 among countries having the most globally threatened birds, where 15 species are critically endangered, 12 species are also endangered, then 47 species are vulnerable, and 59 species are near threatened. With this reason, the study is to raise awareness and impart knowledge to people regarding to different endangered bird species through the use of augmented reality. For our solution, first is we're going to develop a mobile application with augmented reality integrated in the visual book. We actually augmented 30 endangered bird species here in the Philippines, and it actually has an option to choose between the two animations. You could also get an exclusive trivia about the species and know the conservation status, their habitat, diet, and distribution of that species. And you could also hear some of the species bird call. And this application is actually programmed using a C# programming language. Next is we're going to create and design a virtual book containing a various vulnerable and two endangered bird species. What our team is actually going to create and design or even lay out of a virtual book, which actually featured stunning photographs of the 30 endangered bird species here in the Philippines. The content of the book is actually written by Sir Geoff Tabaranza, which is a biologist, and Miss Maya Tanedo, which is a bird watcher from the Birds in Focus Incorporation, which is our client. And they actually, the content of the virtual book discuss different ways on how to help the conservation of the endangered species here in the Philippines and their habitat. And for our last solution is we're going to construct an informational website to promote the Big Abu application. For our methodology, Agile Scrum methodology was actually used in project development. Why? Aside from easy to learn and use, Scrum actually offers freedom of implementation. Since it is a framework, it actually defines a set of roles, different artifacts, events, and as well as some roles between them. Within this framework, several techniques and tools and even processes can be used. In addition to that, using this type of methodology optimizes our team's efficiency and of course efficacy, because the team scope and backlogs are assigned to each members. And lastly, it actually embraces changes and its continuous improvement because of the different sprint retrospective meetings conducted during the development of the project. For our software testing procedure, we actually use the alpha testing, which actually helps in discovering and identifying any potential mistakes and issues before releasing it to the public. And also we use test script in alpha testing in order to find different bugs and errors and to check the system requirement. And actually it is done internally with a developer and the members of the organization. Also, beta testing is used for during the testing. So here we gather data from the different users through a survey evaluation instrument. So the survey is actually used to measure the user experience, to get their feedback in order to further enhance the product or the application to produce a better human-computer interaction. Next, for software evaluation instrument, this evaluation was conducted through the use of the survey questionnaire instrument. So the evaluation criteria comprises of the following: the functionality, the usability, the reliability, performance, supportability, or this is what you call the FERPs. And there were 70 respondents evaluators consisting of the client organizations, which is the Birds Live in Focus, and then the Hiring Ibon, and the possible client customers or then the readers, and then the different bird lovers, and also an IT experts. And to fully interpret and understand the data gathered from the respondents, we actually employ the following statistical treatment. First, of course, we use the Likert scale, where we utilize this one in order to get the feedback and data from the beta users. And of course, arithmetic mean. So we, the researchers, calculated the mean of every Likert item in the Likert to get the general understanding of the respondents' answers. So this computed mean of each Likert item is analyzed through different ranges of values, which corresponds to a point in the Likert scale table. For our project design, the picture depicts the system architecture of the application or the system. So it is actually divided into two layers, the user side and then the database side. So the user side, the GUI or the graphical user interface, which is basically the screen displayed from the camera module. This is how the user interact with the system. And then the
Sorry
autofocus
for the
module.
interruption. You have only 2 minutes left. Please conclude your presentation.
Thank you. Which actually focuses the camera on the target image, then allows the users to hover over the target image and successfully augmented the bird's species. So moreover, for the database side, the second layer consists of the database. So the necessary information is retrieved from the database and forwarded back to the user once the target image has been identified. So the user input directly into the system to the user side, with the database side handling the processes. So next one is actually a video presentation. So how this application works, but I could not finish it since I have a limited time. So this is the visual book. Okay. And then next, this is the application, the augmented reality mobile application. And lastly, this is the project design for our website. Okay, so that would be the project design of the three main features of our project. And then for our results and discussion, this is the overall mean for visual book. Wherein the overall rating is 4.72 with descriptive rating of 4.72. And the next, the overall mean for the augmented reality mobile application with an overall mean of 4.44, which have a descriptive rating of very good. And lastly, the website, so having a mean of 4.72 with excellent descriptive rating. And for the total average of the project, so for the website, so we have an average of 4.68, which is has a verbal interpretation of excellent. For the 9 IT respondents, so they are for having the average of 4.47, which is very good. For the IT expert, 4.89, which is excellent. For our mobile application, 4.44, which is also very good. For visual book, 4.71, which is excellent. And for the total average is 4.61 for having a verbal interpretation of excellent. For conclusion and recommendations, so the app Big Abu augmented reality is successful in augmenting the 30 endangered bird species of the Philippines in the book of Endangered Bird Species of the Philippines. So the content management system of the website produces 0 to minimal errors with a little improvement on its responsive and adaptability to different screen sizes and devices. So the visual book entitled Endangered Bird Species of the Philippines will soon be published now by the publishing company Birds in Focus. And then based on the evaluation, the mobile application is supported by most of the Android devices. And these are our references for our research. And again, I'm Henji Vicente from Manila, Philippines. Thank you for listening.
It's 7 o'clock.
Okay, it's a nice presentation, but what I am observing that last two candidates and you in your presentation all are from the Philippines, and you all three candidates are using same methodology, same thing, same statistical analysis. Even you are not changing the approaches like reliability, usability, performance, all those things. So it is a very common thing in all those presentations. But even I'm not getting one thing. What is your measurement scale of performance? Tell me something about the measurement scale of usability, performance, supportability, and reliability. How you measure the reliability of the websites?
Sir,
Product.
how I'm sir, how I am going to, sir, can you repeat the question for, sorry?
I just want to know the measurement scale of reliability, performance.
Sir, in the Likert scales, in the Likert scale, sir.
It's only about opinion. You are recording respondent of the user, and you are mentioned as an average value as a performance or anything
With the
else.
performance of the system, sir. So during, I guess during the testing of the application, so there are some problems. That's why the performance it actually there's a problem with regards to the performance. Maybe due to number one is because of the phone model, and then and also with regards to the um, to the internet connection also. Maybe those are some factors why do we have or do we get that ratings in performance criteria.
Okay. Okay, fine. Right. Congratulations. You're just going to publish the book, Augmented Reality book. That's good thing for the service of
Yes,
as a
yes.
service of
In addition to
society.
that, sir, actually we are now on the process. So, we have communication with the birds in focus. We have actually signed discussing so how we're going to implement to have a good implementation of the augmented reality to their book. And as of now, we don't have the specific date yet when we're going to publish, but getting there.
Okay. Right. Thank you. Congratulations in advance.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you for your great presentation. Now we'll move on to our next presenter, Robin, to present his paper title on e-commerce platform with recommender system and Android mobile application. Dear presenter, you may please start your presentation.
All right. A pleasant good afternoon to everyone. On behalf of my co-authors, Dr. Iris C. Wanatas, John Cedric Agbuya, Brigida Grace Bonan, John Bones M. Bonrostro, and Stephen Ryan Gabutan. So I am Dr. Robin A. Wanatas from National University, Manila, Philippines. I'm here to present our research entitled E-commerce platform with recommender system and Android mobile application. So the presentation is divided into 6 parts. It is organized as follows: introductions, objectives, methodology, project design, and results and discussion, and conclusion and recommendation. The e-commerce shows steady growth in the market since it makes the lives of people easier. The COVID-19 shut down many food establishments across the Philippines, resulting in an online bakeries boom. The e-commerce with a recommender system is the trend that helps customers choose products, which helps in decision making on what to purchase. On the other hand, a mobile application counter could increase brand recognition and customer engagement to deliver products information. So with that being said, we have come up with a solution in which consists of e-commerce, recommender system, and a mobile application. I will first go through with e-commerce. As of now, a website for a business is really needed to cope up with the rapid advancement of digitalization. An e-commerce website is an ideal way to take your business to another level, and it could help your site lead to more chances of your business getting found in search engines. A customer could place an order regardless of their schedule, making it convenient and flexible on the customer's part. As the business grows, there is a possibility that the product and the customer will escalate. Next slide. An e-commerce website will also allow the company to reach a broader range of options in terms of payment, and it reduces destination barriers. With the internet, distance never becomes an issue because of the customer can buy anything with a mouse click. And next is the recommender system. An e-commerce with a recommender system can help with user experience in a way that it provides insight for the customers, which then helps online businesses improve their products and services. So the content-based recommender system can help customers recommend items content based on each category. As for the mobile application, an e-commerce with a mobile application can assist the customers to place their order anytime, anywhere, since people are already used to shopping from mobile devices. It is just so much more convenient than waiting to get on a computers, as phones are always just an arm's reach away, which isn't always the case with a laptop or desktop computer. So today, mobile apps are now the most effective way to deliver products information. An e-commerce with a mobile application can assist the customer to place their order anytime and anywhere. For the objective of the study, so the study in general aims to develop an e-commerce platform with recommender system and Android mobile application can help to lessen work from the day-to-day operation in terms of ordering. To create an e-commerce website, in serving the customers with regards to ordering products. To integrate a recommender system that will help the customers in choice making. To build an Android mobile application version of an e-commerce website. To test the system using functionality, usability, reliability, performance, and supportability. I have used Scrum methodology for the project development. It is an Agile project management style that entails a small team managed by a Scrum Master. And the system architecture refers how these software components are organized on devices. The administrator and customer have access to all the website and mobile modules, such as homepage, the shopping module, which contains the recommended products from the recommender system, shopping carts, order status, and order customization. The created system was mainly developed in PHP and was embedded into HTML. It can be used locally or in the internet. When working with databases, including storing and retrieving data, MySQL is used. CSS and Bootstrap were also added to make the website attractive, along with JavaScript to complete the website's functionality. Also, the respondents of the study are chosen through the strategy known as a purposive sampling. To evaluate this, respondents are categorized into client, customers, and technical professionals. Moving on our project design, the home page is the main page of the web and mobile application. The homepage recommend products, which shows the top 10 products that get the most 5 stars as the ratings. The shop page shows all the products available to the bake shop. The customization page, where the customer can customize the cake that they want based on the variation of choices from the bake shop. And there is an integrated 3D view of variation of the customer has chosen. The cart page, where the customer can view the summary of the items they added. Followed by the checkout page, where the customer has to input the delivery details for their order. So the payment form page, where the customer can submit their proof of payment for the verification purposes. So the order details page, where the customer can view the order and payment status. The customer will also get an SMS whenever the status has been changed by the administrator. And then the rating page, where the customer can rate the products that they have ordered once it is successfully delivered. We have also included a messenger API so that the customer can directly communicate with the bake shop. For the result and discussion, so the table as shown on the screen is summary of the weight means of perps as evaluated by the respondent. So the system overall acceptability is 4.07 with an interpretation of agree. For the conclusion and recommendation, PERPS model was used to assess the software quality. PERPS stands for functionality, usability, reliability, performance, and supportability. So the overall weight mean of functionality is 4.16. The result implies that the area for the system functionality are acceptable for the customers. It could also mean that the system can perform the task that it was supposed to do. The overall weight mean of usability is 4.11. The result implies that most of the respondents could use the system with ease since the user interface design is attractive. And the overall readability of the system, such as text, is clear. The overall weight mean of reliability is 3.96. The result implies that the system is reliable when it comes to summary automation. The system performance is also consistent, which could mean that the customer could process the orders without a problem since the system is also free from error and crashes. The overall weight mean of the performance is 4.19. So the result implies that the system performs well, whereas several respondents were able to access the website regardless of the browser use. So the system is also user-friendly, which allowed the customer to navigate independently, and the overall performance of the system responded appropriately in according to what the customer has performed. The overall weight mean of supportability is 3.93. So the result implies that the system was able to maintain its purpose notwithstanding the respondent's device. The order status is remarkable as well, and the shopping cart is easy to manage in terms of editing the items it contains. And the system overall evaluation was agreeable with an overall rating of 4.07. So the results suggest that the system is acceptable. Each criterion of PERPS had an overall interpretation of agree. So the result could signify that the system is ready to be used as knowledgeable as acknowledged by the customers. And the developers are created an e-commerce website to help the serve of customers. The system will allow the customer to browse the products in one place. So placing an order is now easy, and the summary is generated automatically upon adding products to the shopping cart, which enable the customers to view the details of the orders to date. There is also a recommender system to allow the customers easily view the best products, which could help in choice making.
Sorry for the
And-
interruption, but you have only 1 minute left. Please conclude
Yeah.
your presentation.
Thank you. Furthermore, the developers built an Android mobile application as a counterpart of the e-commerce website for the customers who prefer the place an order through a mobile application. So for the recommendations, adding a payment API like Paymogo would be great to manage payments seamlessly. Right? So secondly, it will be helpful for the developers to use frameworks like Cogigniter or Laravel, because frameworks work with databases efficiently, and it improves code reusability. Lastly, implement a hybrid recommender system to increase the accuracy of the products recommended to the customers. And here are the references. As William M. Daley puts it, remember, for any business, large or small, not to have an e-commerce strategy, a big mistake. And that is all for my presentation. Thank you.
Mr. Robin, what is new in this work? I didn't get anything new. Continuously I'm watching 2 or 3 paper. I'm just observing that same method, same methodology, same data collection, same average. Even the results are also same. So what is new? What is fresh in your work? Everybody is working on recommendation system. I think that in Manila or in Philippines, everybody and every scientist of computer science field working on recommendation system. That is very uh, horrible situation that everybody is working on recommendation system, observing data, receiving opinion from the user, and averaging the opinion and producing the result. This is not a research. What is new? What is fresh in this research? I just want to know.
Well,
Already
sir,
systems are running. What is
uh,
new?
actually, sir,
What you want to provide to others as a technological part? These
right.
things are already available in the market, and the analysis you are mentioned, availability, performance, these are, I don't think this is needed here, and this is not a suitable way to I think find out the usability of any websites. Only taking observation on 5-point Likert scale and taking average, and this. So do something. Tell me what you want to say about this.
All right. Thank you, sir. Actually, this is the highlight of this. So the recommender system goes with the rating. So the customer needs to rate the product. Once the rating is recorded, it will suggest the best product from the
What is the
bakery.
research? What is the research in that? You are taking observation from the user and averaging and showing the peoples at the world level platform in the world conference. You are showing only averaging. Is this research?
Yes, sir.
Is
So
this
this is
research
also
only?
a sir, this is also a use content based filtering.
No, this is not
So
useful anything. Not at all. The first, second, third, fourth paper are not usable for any. Not single line is usable for anyone. This is not a research. This is all collecting of data and projecting data again. A summary of data projecting. Listen to me. Then it will be counted as a research, because the things you are presenting, you all are presenting right now. It is already, these are already available with the websites. You are taking only observation from the people, averaging the people, and again you are averaging a last year focusing the 4.7%. Or this is the from license. This is not not a research. Try to make more efforts, right? Thank you, very good.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your great presentation. Now we'll move on to our next presenter, and Mary, to present her paper on Balange, a web-based document request and incident reporting system with decision support for Balange program development. Dear presenter, you may please start your presentation.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
All right. Good afternoon, London. On behalf of my co-researchers, Marcus Thomas Bautista, Alia Bolonos, Ogel Camba, Lorraine de Guzman, Lizelle Tolentino, and Dr. Maria Corazon Fernando. It is my privilege to share with you our study, which is titled Balangay, a web-based document request and incident reporting system with decision support for program development. I'm Marilubet Go from FEU Institute of Technology, Manila, Philippines. My presentation outline is as follows. Sorry. The introduction, objectives, methodology, results and discussions, conclusion, and recommendations. Information and Communications Technology, or ICT, has contributed significantly to today's digital world as it makes automation of tasks possible and has successfully transformed systems from their conventional form into a more centralized and manageable one. We saw how the shift to digital or online services has accelerated as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. More people now regularly use their mobile phones and computers to shop, do their groceries, transact with their banks, attend classes, and even work from their respective homes. The COVID-19 pandemic also opens many opportunities for various industries and institutions to innovate, specifically in governance. There is an increasing pressure to make government transactions faster, more transparent, and make public services more accessible. As a result, e-government or electronic government emerges, which is considered a tool utilized to achieve a higher quality of public services and more efficient of public funds and to facilitate citizen participation, among others. In simpler terms, e-government is the use and application of information technologies in public administration to streamline and integrate workflows and processes to effectively manage data and information, enhance public service delivery, and expand communication channels for engagement and empowerment of people. Most significantly, the presence of technology makes it possible to communicate information more effectively and use it as a reliable basis for decision-making and encouraging individual and organizational collaborations. In the Philippines, e-governance has been the basis for developing various systems in different government units. In fact, according to United Nations e-government survey in 2020, among 193 United Nations member states, Philippines ranked 77 in the e-governance development index and 57th in the e-participation index. In order to support the country's efforts in developing and implementing e-government services, one of the senators, Senator Sonny Angara, said in an interview in January 2021 that local government units or LGUs should take the lead in digital transformation for the public sector. He noted that the government cannot afford to be left behind. To give you a background, in the geographic level, Philippines has 17 regions, 81 provinces, 146 cities, and 1,488 municipalities, and total of 42,046 barangays. Just to give you background, when the first Spaniards arrived in the Philippines in the 16th century, they found well-organized independent villages called barangays. The name barangay originated from balangay, a Malay word meaning sailboat. Barangay is the smallest political unit in the Philippines, but have a significant impact on transforming Filipino citizens' lives. Thus, Angara suggested the digital transaction could begin in the local government units, specifically from barangays. According to the Department of Interior and Local Government, or DILG, just 30% of LGUs have started to digitize their processes, and that's around 490 digitized LGUs out of 1,634, the majority of which are at the municipal level. The city of Manila is the capital of the Philippines and its second most populous city. It is highly urbanized and as of 2019 was the world's most densely populated city proper. It has 897 barangays. Out of 897 barangays in Manila, the researchers selected Barangay 587, Zone 58, District 6, Santa Mesa, Manila, where it has a land area of 3 to 4 hectares with a total population of 2,363, composed of 645 families with 700 plus registered voters. In general, among the many services being provided by the barangay, document processing and incident reporting are the most common. Barangays are also capable of an immediate response in terms of urgency when needed sudden assistance or for emergency purposes. Barangays are also known for their purpose to ensure that every resident has access to services and benefits from the government's programs. These programs include ordinances mandated by the national government, and some are mainly created by barangays based on the needs of their locality. Barangay 587 is one of the many barangays that lack resources, including hardware, software, technical skills, and communication networks. More specifically, the staff in this barangay are only utilizing logbooks, cabinets, a typewriter, and a computer unit that is rarely used. Because of this, there is an efficiency in recording and managing information of the barangay that can be a contributor to having unstandardized processes. This simple yet essential aspect of every document process poses more significant risks for the barangay and negatively impacts their integrity. Also, with the lack of manpower, requested documents can be done with uncertain processing time, so they cannot be provided with immediate service. Moreover, because of the absence of historical data that can be used to analyze the number of document requests processed at a given time, barangay officials and staff are experiencing difficulty in allocating the correct amount of manpower needed to ensure each request will be accommodated. With all these concerns, the researchers could devise solutions to address these problems, specifically to develop a web-based document request and incident reporting system with decision support for barangay program development named Balangay. Specifically, this study aims to build a database that will serve as a central repository of the system files to provide a registration module that will facilitate submitting a barangay residents' information online, to create a document request module with release status notification that will allow eligible residents to request barangay issued documents and get notified when the requested document is ready for release, to integrate document tracking system where barangay officials and staff may monitor progress and status of documents requested by residents, to develop an incident report module that will allow residents to report local ordinance-related violations and generate a heat map to assist officials in creating better programs and project developments, to design an announcement module that will allow the barangay official to post barangay activities and developments, to integrate a property management module to aid officials and staff in monitoring barangay properties, and lastly, to evaluate the system based on ISO 9126 software quality model. For the methodology, the researchers use an iterative waterfall method to manage the project's development. The iterative waterfall method is very similar to the classical waterfall method. However, this has feedback paths that make the model realistic. Functionality and usability evaluations were conducted during the beta testing, which was participated by 16 IT experts, 25 residents, 10 barangay officials and staff. Meanwhile, the respondents for the system and for the evaluation, the researchers used the ISO 9126 for the software quality model, where the system was evaluated in terms of portability, functionality, reliability, maintainability, efficiency, and lastly, usability. Other methodologies such as qualitative and quantitative research, purposive sampling, pre-survey and post-evaluation survey, and 5-point Likert scale were used. For the system architecture, it involves the 6 main actors, namely resident, barangay staff, system admin, barangay chairman, and barangay official. The web browsers will serve as the platform wherein all the process data and information will be stored in a provided centralized database. The developed system makes use of the latest technology. It is an online application which can be used on the internet or locally, and it was created using the server-side scripting language PHP and uses MySQL as the system's web and database servers. The system is composed of 6 users, specifically the resident and barangay staff, system admin, barangay chairman, barangay official, where it includes 5 different modules, which are registration module, document request module, incident report module, announcement module, and property management module. For the developed system, the figure shows a barangay management module of system admin. The system admin has the only access to the barangay management module, wherein the system administrator can create additional barangays and manage them. The figure shows that the heat map and reports of barangay chairman. It provides visualization of the reports and information collected from the data of the residents, document requests, incident reports, emergency reports, and other figures. Figure shows the incident report module of barangay officials. It shows the list of incident reports of the residents in the point of view of the barangay officials. The figure shows the document request module of barangay officials. In this module, it displays the process of requesting documents in barangay official user, and the user can choose what type of document is needed. It shows the list of documents that are requested and its status. The next
Sorry
one
for the
is
interruption. You have only 1 minute left. Please conclude your presentation.
So for the last figure is the document request module of resident. It shows the current historical of the resident's document request as well as the status of each document request. Now, the table shown in the slide displays the tabulated result of both the barangay officials and residents' response collected from the pre-survey in the terms of level of technology, accessibility, level of computer knowledge, and the level of readiness for technology adoption. The responses shown in the table only means that on average, residents strongly agree that they have the right level of technology, accessibility, and knowledgeable about computers, and very likely to adopt technology, particularly the developed system. Okay, so the table shows the constituents evaluation resulting the ISO 9126I software evaluation, quality evaluation. On the other hand, the table shows the experts evaluation result where the calculated mean is 4.54, that the respondents strongly agree that the system is functional, reliable, usable, efficient, maintainable, and portable. Now, this table combined the calculated mean, weighted mean from the IT experts and barangay constituents for each component of system evaluation. All the components gain a high weighted mean with the corresponding response of strongly agree and the verbal interpretation of very satisfied. Calculating the average weighted mean of all the components, it resulted in 4.45, which means the respondents strongly agreed to the statements describing each component and were very satisfied with the overall system. Now, for conclusion, the system was able to provide a centralized database for the barangay files and data. The system was able to provide a registration module where residents can submit information and requirements online and can capture photo of valid ID and resident's face. Now, for the document request, it allows residents to request documents online in a document tracking system that shows the current status of the document request. In the incident report module, it accommodates the patala and patawag type of incident report and provides status of each filed incident. For the announcement module, was able to disseminate information via SMS and email. And for the property module, it can add items for a particular property and updating its current status if the item was damaged or if it's still in good condition. And lastly, by using the ISO 9126 software quality model for the system evaluation, both the respondents were satisfied with the system. And for recommendations, the system should apply an automatic location tracker to quickly respond to emergencies reported. The system should have a mobile application version to maximize its capability to make it more accessible. The system should implement cloud storage to lessen network load and maximize storage capacity. The system implement a live support chat to directly assist residents with their concerns. And lastly, the system should have more comprehensive type of decision support system. And these are the references. Thank you for listening.
Hello. Okay. Maya, it's a nice presentation. Okay, thank you for presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your great presentation. Now we'll move to our next presenter. Robin, to present his paper on online retail system with data forecasting and Android mobile application. Dear presenter, you may please start your presentation.
All right, so good afternoon again. I'm here to present our research entitled Online Retail System with Data Forecasting and Android Mobile Access. So like the title suggests, the system is for both the web and mobile applications, which also includes the other modules such as ordering, service reservation, and an inventory management system, which we'll discuss later on. So before we start, okay, so on behalf of my co-author, Dr. Iris Wanatas, Jason Raymond Bermudez, Rene Tio, Jaden Del Rosario, Ann De Los Santos, Ricardo Edig, and Dennis Martinez. So again, I am Robin Wanatas from Manila, Philippines. So to properly start this presentation, let's move on to the outline. To start, the first section that would be tackled is about the introduction of the said system. Second, it is the objective. Third, it's the discussion of the methodology behind the said system development. Fourth, is the project design, which is going to showcase the different outputs related to the developed system. And fifth, is the results and discussion that are associated with the study during the development of the stated system. And lastly, is the conclusion and recommendation, which constructed through the analysis and the aforementioned results and discussion section of the system study. So for the introduction, the system that is presented here is made up of a unified website and a mobile application, each of which is divided into two separate modules. So the first module is the online retail system with ordering and service reservations. And the second module is the inventory management system, which is then used by the incorporated data forecasting system to produce a variety of sales data. There are three problems that are highlighted within the study presented in this presentation. So these are the problems are focusing on the struggles of a retail company from a business perspective. Even before the pandemic, their business have encountered the use of an outdated system wherein the inventory system and the accessibility of their retail services to customers had become inefficient. The system's general objective is to develop an online retail and inventory system with a data forecasting system. The said system was objectified to integrate the said modules into a developed web application and an Android application. There are a total of four specific objectives for this system, and these are: first is to create an online retail system that includes sub-modules such as announcements, user account functionalities, which are sign up, log in, and log out, online selling, displaying productions, and notifications of retail orders of their motorcycle-related products, and reservation for motorcycle-related services that will be done in the establishment. Next is to integrate an inventory system that allows the employees to handle tasks related to ordering, which will help reduce human errors and also be cost reducing. This module also includes the data forecasting system that displays data based on the data gathered from the business transactions generated by the online retail system and the inventory system. The third is to build an Android mobile application. And the last is to conduct functional testing using FORPS method of the system in a web and a mobile application. Here we have the methodology of the presented system. First, the customer could access either the web or mobile application of the system. From there, they can make a product order and service inquiry through the system. Once the process is completed, the sales data will be sent to the inventory system which will then be validated and sent back to the retail system. Lastly, the quotation of the sales data is given to the customer. The next module is a data forecasting. So the flow is this system module starts with the generated sales orders. The online server creates and evaluates an appropriate business model that will be processed again and then outputs a time series analysis of the business data using Google's visualization API and a data tables for the online server. In the last step, a business model is made to show an analysis model for moving average linear regression. And lastly, we have the inventory system, wherein the sales order and product stock are sent to an online server. Here, the online server monitors the stock before these are accessed for updates or archiving of the stocks. So the order is then sent to the online server, which create an inventory code. Moving on to the design of the project. So the first thing we'll look at is the website's homepage. Second is the product page. Third is the services reservation page. Then we have the fourth is the admin side page. Fifth is the data forecasting part of the said system, which is located at the starting page of the system admin side page. And lastly, is the data forecasting page for the analyzed transaction of the said system. So the primary goal of the system was to provide the retail company with a website application that is combined with an Android application, which would assist their business in streamlining their operation while also allowing them to display historical data in a graphical and visual format. So based on the test scripts and user acceptance testing, the client was satisfied with the current state of the system. Also, it is important to note that all the results of the system testing based on the stated testing scripts were considered acceptable. In the conclusion, so the presented system within the research, namely online retail system with the data forecasting and Android mobile access, has fulfilled the objective presented during its development. So the system's developed intention was to create a system that would improve the operation of the company, essentially supporting a framework that would bring their business operations working within the boundaries of online technologies. The accomplishment of the stated objective of the discussed system is possible with the multiple test scripts, acceptance tests, and surveys garnering acceptable feedback and results from the organization of company and the related participants of the study. The stated research project is considering a number of concepts to further expand the approaches taken during the process of building the presented system. So the following are first to add a new payment gateway because the said system only allows the use of PayPal and COD, which could hamper the application's acceptability. Second is an iOS version, thus improving the portability of the system to its eventual users and integrated platforms. And third is a built-in delivery system, which seems to alleviate fees from third-party couriers. And here are all the list of references behind this development. Right, so this marks the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Robin. It's a good presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your great presentation. So now all the papers have ended now. I sincerely thank all the presenters for their excellent contribution in the session and all the participants for being a part of this Word conference. I hope the session was informative enough. We, on behalf of the whole team, thank you for your support during this version and the previous 5th version of the conference. We will be happy to have you in the 7th version in 2023. All the presenters would be getting their digital certificates through email within 2 working days. Further, all the papers have already forwarded to Springer. The publication will be live within 6 months. Kindly cooperate with the team of WS4. I also like to thank our session chair for chairing this session. Here is a token of appreciation from the team WS4 and Global Knowledge Research Foundation. Thank you for your valuable presence, sir.
Thank you, Anisha, for your nice anchoring and nice as a work as a nice host for this program. And definitely you deserve a little thanks from my side to manage this program very nicely.
Thank you so much, sir. Okay, as we have come to an end of the session, I would request you all to please switch on your cameras for a quick snapshot of this virtual conference. Okay, thank you so much. Stay safe and take care.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.